Chapter 35. Indecent Dissuasion. Ral left the coffee shop with Elo, and they took one of the jumpers straight to the headquarters. But Elo, who was evidently perplexed and disconcerted by what had happened there, mustered up his courageousness and without any preamble asked Ral at once, "Why do you support this ridiculous and absurd proposition?" Anticipating this question, Ral blurted out, "Which proposition do you mean?" Elo turned his head away, avoiding eye contact with Ral, and replied, "Sending him back to Earth with Kay. He cannot even take good care of himself. How about her then?" Once again, awaiting this comment, Ral exclaimed, "How come you of all people say that? Is he not your best friend?" Looking back at him, Elo replied, "Yes, he is, of course, but our friendship has nothing to do with work." This naive response piqued Ral's curiosity, who asked, "I wonder what caused this sudden and unexpected shift?" Trying to get around the topic desperately, Elo replied, "There is absolutely no change." He did not know what more to say, so he turned his head away again and kept silent. Ral, who seemed really worried, insisted on finding answers. "Yes, there is a change, Elo," he continued, "and it is obvious." Not wanting to give Elo another chance to avoid answering him, he added, "You have changed, Elo. You are not the same scientist I met many years ago. Nor are you the same person who endorsed and supported his best friend and entrusted him with the effort of your life." Dumbfounded by such a direct accusation that everyone seemed to agree on lately, Elo tried to defend himself, asserting, "As I told you, it is just a professional point of view. Bot broke so many rules on Earth and committed many violations. You saw it yourself." Ral smiled cynically, in disbelief that Elo would naively come up with such a ridiculous excuse, and scoffed, "Are these not the same violations for which you defended him? And you pushed hard to support him again in his quest for a trip back to Earth. I was in the coffee shop, Elo, and I heard your encouragement to him before I joined you with Kay." He gave him a sharp look, confident there was more to him than what meets the eye. He immediately confirmed his suspicions by the plain tension that Elo showed as soon as Kay's name popped up, and reflected in his response, "No, there must be a misunderstanding." Fearing Ral and what might come out of his sleeve, he immediately continued, "Kay and I are just friends." That stupid remark was all Ral needed to load his gun and point it at Elo, who had just given him a chance and he had to seize it, and he surprised him by saying, "I did not say anything about you and Kay not being just friends, but since you have presented this topic, I am compelled to accept that invitation." Like any skillful soldier in the field, he began aiming and shooting straight at Elo and said, "I noticed what was going on between you two. In fact, we all did. And as far as I was concerned about the mission, I was more attentive and watchful in terms of harmony among my team members. So I permitted myself to ask Kay, who initially denied everything because she did not want to cause you any trouble. But when I told her that we already knew and sensed what was going on and that any disagreement between participants could negatively affect the mission and Bot's safety, she told me everything. How misbehaving you were and how professional and considerate she was, preferring not to escalate. Especially since you two, as you claim, are friends. Old friends, I believe." By hitting all the targets in one shot, Ral felt accomplished, except for one last move he left as a finale. "Shame on you, Elo." He cast it with the same look of disdain Elo had previously gotten from Kay, who showed him she had more up her sleeve than she'd revealed. "Here is the headquarters." Ral swiftly and deliberately changed the subject to shut him down for good, then followed, "I do not want to hear any more talk of this matter. And you will keep your support for Bot as you have always done. Kay will go with him as decided. It is good, in terms of the emotional stability of our subject, which is the least of my concerns. Not that I do not care. It is even better to have a couple on Earth at that critical juncture, who will ensure our existence and the continuity of the human race, should our evacuation plans fail." He paused at that dreadful thought as if he wished he had not uttered those words before continuing. "I will speak with the chiefs, and we will appoint another person, with my consent, to train Kay and prepare her for the mission." With more decisiveness, he added, "You will continue in your position as head of the project, but you are no longer in charge of operations until this mission is accomplished. When you prove yourself again as someone worthy of this responsibility, without any emotional involvement whatsoever, then I may reconsider." Thanks to his position, Ral, without effort, managed to obtain the official and final approval of that quest, after proposing the idea of the first proximal settlement on Earth to be established in preparation for the evacuation plan. Also, They would use it as an advantage for the Proximals to protect and secure their gains in the space race against the Centaurians. It was only a matter of time until the second flight from Proxima B was ready to depart, with no return flight.